now. So I turn on the browser debugger so I can see what's going on. And I'll just clear all of that. So we're on the ACH page. These get formed up to form an account name. This is how the examples of ACH work. So this is an omitted status. So you can see in the debug what's going on. So it's formed up the giver name and the family name into an account holder name. I'm just following exactly what the examples do for Square. We go through the normal paid stuff. And that's played over and done with. There's a little bit of a pause, then we go processing ACH payment, and it's been successfully processed. So in the background, just sort of talking you through here, the Square stuff was what created this nonce, and then we processed the ACH payment, which went back to the back-end workflow on the app, and it has a payment ID and it's been successful and it's done. So that's completed. Then within your app, if I refresh this data, so there's 2 payments have gone in here. So here's some debug information. It's really handy. This is what the plugin does. It tells you what was sent to Square and what was returned. So there's quite a lot of information. Payment IDs are probably the main thing you're interested in. So the way where that's getting done is in this workflow here. So we have a back-end workflow. This is what the plugin connects to. It uses this is what you need to implement in your code, really. So when someone buys a holiday, I guess you're going to need to put in the location ID. That's what the location ID is there. You'd probably want to store that somewhere in a config table. You may not have a Square customer ID. Verification token is only to do with card payments. Amount of money, that's in cents. Currency will always be US dollars. I don't know if these things work or not. I haven't tested them. I don't see why they shouldn't work, because it's just part of the Square payment API. And these ones down here are all the address things. That's all to do with card payments. Order ID is if you're doing checks, if you're doing invoicing. But if you're just doing simple payments, you've got everything you need, I think. So having made the payment, I suggest, and I implemented so I can understand what's going on, and creating that table so where I can log the debug information. So because if things are going wrong, if we find problems, the things we'll want to look at is this debug information here and this debug information here. So I've only tested a few of these. So if I wanted to try Navy and Credit Union, and off we go. So I think there's a second payment going through. Checking details, we should see something in here. Generated a different nonce. Payment's been processed. New record in this table here. Payment ID. That's the same payment ID that you'd use to reference in Square to find out what's going on. So I think we're all good.